Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. And not to overlook Dejan, but I heard that a fight that Showtime would be interested in is Mikey versus Broner in the future. Would that be something that you would be open to?
Look, the minute that we started talking to Showtime about Mikey starting, his fights for Showtime, that's one fight that they did mention, and they did tell Mikey, and they told me, and not only Showtime but also other people involved. They said that's a fight that they want this year, and we're ready for it. We just got to get past Dejan. We can't look past Dejan, but everything goes well. Those are all fights that are possible in the future.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, 2017, it's been lit. We have a lot of good fights. Now, there's a rumor about Broner versus Mikey Garcia. A lot of people reached out to me, hit me up like, "Oh, Ego, what is the deal? And why are you not talking about this?" And I'm going to show you why I'm not talking about it. Because this is not surprising to me. This is regular YouTube videos. The videos are still up. But you'll see, I did a video 6 months ago. I did a video. Showtime loves building to Adrian Broner versus Mikey Garcia at 140 per Showtime, right? So to me, this is not really news to me. I knew this was something on the radar, you know what I mean? And I haven't heard the details in terms of venues, the actual date they're talking about in the summer. But when I was at Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton 2, Mikey Garcia, sensational knockout of Dejan Zlaticanin, and he became the WBC champion at 135. I even asked him and his brother about the fight. You see these videos 3 months ago, back in January. Mikey Garcia asked if he'll fight Adrian Broner to become the next pay-per-view star. He says, and then Robert Garcia confirms Adrian Broner versus Mikey Garcia fight has been brought up by Showtime. Will it happen? And I told you guys. So this has been on the radar. This is not news to me. Actually having a date and stuff, I'm just waiting for that type of information. So it looks like this is possibly going to go down, and I like it. I think it's a great fight. I did a video. Broner is in the can again for 3 days, 30,000 views. Adrian Broner going to jail again, thrown in jail for 3 days, 72 hours, being held for contempt of court. And Mikey Garcia, this is his page, he follows me, and he posted this: "Camp is already underway, announcement soon." So again, it's still in the rumor stage. It's something I know Showtime had interest in. And listen, if this fight goes down, shout out to Adrian Broner, and shout out to Mikey Garcia, and shout out to Steven Espinoza and Showtime, because Showtime has made it their business to destroy the game. Between Premier Boxing Champs and Showtime, they are literally killing the game. If they make if this comes off like it's being talked about, right, and all the signs point to the rumor being true, this is big, man. Garcia is a hell of a fighter. He fought at 140, his first fight back after like a 2-year stint on the sideline dealing with top rank issues and legal issues. He was inactive, came back, and he fought at 140 on a Showtime card. I think it was Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton Part 1. He fought on that undercard, and he knocked out Elias Rojas. Looked a little bit rusty in the first 2 rounds, and that's natural. He's been off on the sidelines. Even though you're working out, it's different fighting an actual fight, not headgear and sparring and stuff. However, I was at his last fight, and he has one of the, him and to me, David Lemieux. There's been some good knockouts this year, but him and David Lemieux probably have the ones in high profile fights that stand out. He really caught Dejan Zlaticanin out of position and stretched him. Like it looked bad for him. And then David Lemieux, of course, versus Curtis Stevens. But we've seen some pretty good knockouts. I thought the David Benavidez knockout of Porky Medina was sensational too. He threw like a E Honda 100-hand slap just this last weekend and knocked out Porky. But Porky was out of it, but Dejan Zlaticanin he was beyond out of it. He was separated from his senses. Same thing with Curtis Stevens. They were like you know what I mean? They're out. You know what I mean? Out cold. Great fight, man. Dangerous fight for both fight. You know what I mean? Broner has more experience at higher weights, 140 and above, right? He's fought Marcos El Chino Maidana, one of my favorites. Used to train in the same gym as Mikey Garcia in the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy, right? He's been in there with Paulie Malignaggi. He fought Sean Porter at a catch weight, 144, whatever it was. And he has several fights at 140. Most recently, I was at that fight. I covered that fight as media too. He fought on a Showtime card, and that was against Adrian Granados. Now, the thing I like if this fight comes off, like I said, it's already been a phenomenal year. Joshua, Klitschko, Wilder's calling out Joshua. Hopefully we get a unification with him and maybe Joseph Parker. Showtime has been on a roll though. You know what I mean? It's not just Showtime. There's other great fights. Canelo versus Golovkin is a great HBO pay-per-view. Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, a meaningful rematch that needed to happen. But Showtime has been very consistent. Each month, you're getting great fights. And these aren't even Showtime pay-per-views. That's what the crazy thing about it is. Like HBO, in terms of their premium package, there's been a couple of fights like Vasyl Lomachenko, Jason Sosa, Crawford versus Felix Diaz. Those fights were easy for me to predict the winner in those fights. The Curtis Stevens, David Lemieux, that was 60-40 maybe. Some people thought Curtis Stevens could win that, but most people were leaning towards David Lemieux. So there weren't really any big surprises. In fact, on regular HBO, the only fight that I could think of that had like an upset where the favorite did not win was Francisco Vargas when he fought Miguel Berchelt. But Showtime, they put on, it's not even just main events, they're putting on sensational cards. And I've covered some of them. Like I said, Mikey Garcia is always fun to watch. He's methodical, he has punching power, he can crack, but he thinks in there, right? Good, very good boxer puncher. So him challenging a guy like Dejan, who had a 90% plus knockout ratio, I was curious, you know what I mean? And he handled business. Very fluid jab, pop, pop, pop. Dejan couldn't, with his height and his lack of like the total skills and the total package that Garcia has, he couldn't get past that jab. Mikey just set him up for the okie doke and rock-a-bye, baby, right? That was on the Leo Santa Cruz Carl Frampton card. We also had tons of fights like the Showtime fight, well, CBS Showtime, same parent company and whatnot, same affiliate. On CBS, you had Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. You also had on Showtime Adrian Granados versus Adrian Broner. And again, if they pull this off and get Broner versus Mikey Garcia, wow, 2017 is phenomenal. Again, I think this is a great fight. It's a great matchup. And Mikey has some real cojones because he's the man. You know what I mean? At 135, I wanted to see him fight Robert Easter, but Broner's a bigger fight. You know what I mean? And he could clearly stay at 35. The last time I checked, I didn't hear him having any problems making 35 or anything like that. So I think he can make the weight, but Broner's a money fight, and he knows he'll get a lot of accolades if he fights Broner, right? He'll get a lot of acknowledgement. So again, it's still in the rumor stage. Announcement coming soon. I will keep you guys posted if it is official and when it is finalized, but I'm looking forward to it. This is a phenomenal year. Like I said, if they get this done, Mikey's already working, staying sharp. Broner, the other thing, Broner has a mouthpiece, right? As soon as he gets out of jail, he has a mouthpiece, right? And he's going to do his part to sell the fight. And it'll be interesting to see if, like, Mikey Garcia is very mild-mannered, well-spoken and stuff like that. I think he was a police officer also, like he went to the police academy or something. So I'm curious to see if Broner, with his antics, can bring out a different side of Mikey Garcia pre-fight, because I haven't really seen anyone get under Mikey Garcia's skin that I remember. I don't really remember anyone getting under his skin, but sometimes certain characters, they have that ability. It's a great fight if they pull it off, man. But man, just stay tuned. I'll keep you guys informed. This is definitely a good fight. And like I said, I interviewed Robert Garcia at that fight, and I specifically asked him, I might even put the clip in this particular video, but I asked him, I said, and he confirmed Showtime had interest in the fight. So, I mean, Showtime, it's crazy what Showtime boxing is. is doing this year. You know what I mean? Like, they're putting on, Tank Davis just fought. They're putting on some crazy cards, right? Tank Davis. Then you had Andre Durrell. It ended in a funky way with Jose Uzcategui. You know what I mean? Ended in a weird way, but Gary Russell Jr. This week we have Kell Brook, basically, versus Errol Spence Jr. You know what I mean? And if they get Broner versus Mikey Garcia, that fight will sell. Like, especially, I hope they put it in California or Vegas. That's, to me, it seems like a West Coast fight. But shout out to Showtime if they get it done. Like I said, I'm gonna wait and see what they come up with. But phenomenal stuff. If they get this done, phenomenal stuff this year, right? I mean, it's not stopping. It's just like, this is almost a dream year. Look, you got Brooks Spence this week. You have Stevenson Fonfara. What is this? James DeGale happened. I'm forgetting. Badu Jack, James DeGale happened this year in January. And then Tank Davis won his title on that card. Shout out to Showtime, man. Just a lot of great fights. And they're slowly taking the air out of the HBO tires, at least HBO's regular programming, because the pay-per-views, that's something separate. You don't need an HBO subscription to watch Ward Kovalev, you know what I mean? And even if you had an HBO subscription, you would still have to pay extra for it, right? Or Canelo versus Golovkin, those are great fights, great for boxing, but those are in addition to their premium package. These are Showtime fights, you know what I mean? Tank Davis, the Brooks Spence, and to my knowledge, I don't know, because I don't know, they don't have the venue and date, but if the Mikey Garcia Broner fight comes off, I don't know if it would be pay-per-view. I think they would try to put it on their regular network, but that's just speculation. Let me know what you guys think of the fight. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.